But
Wait, do people come
okay.
to your office for cuddling?
Yeah.
Oh, but sometimes you go to their space, so you have the option of doing both.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Wait, so you said that a majority of your clients are men,
Yes.
but the ones that you have that are women, what do you see in how women use this service that is pretty, I guess, typical or consistent that you don't see in men?
Yeah. Good question. I see men that are single as somewhat frustrated that they have to come and use this service for the most part. Not everybody, but a lot of people, especially when they start out, they're like, oh, this is sort of like a in between while I'm trying to get a girlfriend. And I've had people that got
like,
a girlfriend.
I don't do this normally. This is not all right.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact,
yeah.
Phones off. All right, no phones.
Yeah. That's funny to me because as oftentimes if I have a client and they get into a relationship, they stop seeing me. And I would say more than 50% of the time, the relationship ends because suddenly they're transferring all of the things that they had in our like cuddle connection and like expecting like this partner to meet all of them, which is way too much. And they're like, nope, I'm out. The relationship blows up and they come back.
But see,
I don't again, there are roles and places to go for these places, and you don't have to put them all on one person.
But see, that's a challenge. Okay, let's dig into that because you just said something that really, I don't want to, wait. Okay, my brain's doing a lot of things, right? Because I asked you about the women. So
yes.
Walk me through what the women are experiencing, and then I want to get into what you just said. Okay.
What I'm noticing with the women is that from the get-go, especially after COVID, I've been doing a lot more like talks with women. I'm like, okay, what brought you to think that this might be for you? A lot of the women I'm talking to have been thinking about coming and seeing a professional cuddler well before COVID.
Why?
They're like,
I
think I want to see one. Because they need touch. They need to be held. They want to be close to somebody physically and they're not getting it. And they didn't because friends and family, when they say like, oh, I'm thinking about going to see a professional cuddler. You know what the family and friends say?
What?
Don't do that. Just get a boyfriend.
Okay. Here's but my question is, I want to figure out how to articulate myself when I'm saying this, right? So if people always needed physical touch, right? Regardless if they had a boyfriend or not, or a girlfriend or not, what do you think was keeping them from getting the physical touch? Because professional cuddler is, I would assume, is a fairly new industry in the realm of a lot of things, right?
Yeah, I'd say it's an emerging field.
So prior to that, like, was it like a need that existed since the beginning of time that was never filled? Or are people developing a stronger desire to be physically held and cuddled and stuff like that? Or is there a continuing lack of physical affection in people that is creating the space for professionals to fill the gap of cuddling people?
I think all of those are true. And what I was trying to get at with women is that more people are realizing that they can ask for the kind of touch they want on their terms.
Got it.
Think about it. Like a lot of the women that are coming in, they actually really like the idea of coming in being like, cool, I don't have to cuddle with this guy that might try to get sex out of me or has all these other expectations for cuddling. Yeah. They don't want more than that. They want to feel safe and comfortable getting whatever touch they want. And they don't want it to have to go sexual if they don't want that.
Yeah, but has a woman ever like turned it into sexual?
No.
With that? No. But,
no. And many of the women that I do see are bisexual or lesbians too.
See, that's what I was going to ask, right? Because as a professional cuddler, there has to be, in my opinion, there has to be some sense of like, I'm into women or I'm into men. So if I'm going to receive physical like affection, it needs to be with a sex that I would have generally been attracted to. So my question to you is like, how often are you getting heterosexual women?
Good question, because the ones that probably are don't tell me what their sexuality is. The ones that are not straight are very open and tell me from the get-go. So I can't say for certain on that.
Okay.
Not everybody discloses it. So, and I don't require them to. Like the ones that openly offer it, I just know. But there probably are women that I'm seeing that are straight. I don't know.
If you were a man, do you feel like you would get as many male clients?
Yeah, because I know males that get a lot of men, and typically they are gay men.
Oh,
Not
right,
always though.
Right. Typically they're gay men, but like, and that goes my point. They're getting that affection from a sex that they would have generally been attracted to, right? Mm-hmm. So what percentage of your clients do you have that are heterosexual?
Heterosexual or just not not attracted to the gender I am?
No.
Like, I have gay men that come and see me too.
What percentage of them are gay versus that are cisgendered heterosexual men? You don't know because you don't have.
I can't give you that. I don't. Okay. Again, I don't track that information. I don't just like.
I'm just trying to. I'm just trying to imagine, and I probably should have a conversation with a male professional cuddler to ask like, do heterosexual men, because it's a service, right? Because let me tell you something. This is like, I don't even know if I can call this like homophobic or anything like that. But me personally, right? If I go and I get a massage, they often ask me, do I want a woman doing it or do I want a man doing it? Right? The sad thing is I always choose a woman. Right? Because there's something, even though a massage is a little bit more clinical than being hugged and having an intimate cuddle session with someone, there's still some like level of intimacy in a way when you're getting massage. Not as much, but like I find more satisfaction in knowing that a woman is exploring my body and manipulating it in that way, right?
Oh, exploring your body. Wow.
I call it exploring. Here's why I say exploring. I use the term exploring because as a massage therapist, oftentimes they're providing that type of physical therapy and asking you, how does this feel? Or does this hurt? There's a little bit of exploration that goes on, right? And they have to be able to dig into that a little bit in order to be successful. Otherwise, they're just very clinical, right? So they're gonna be like, okay, do you mind moving your arm like this? Do you mind doing like that? Can you breathe in like this? Okay, how does this feel? Like if the ones that are really good, they can be communicative, right? Not as much as, right? So there's some exploration. So what I don't, again, this is gonna sound extremely homophobic. What I don't want to happen is like, how does this feel? What? No, I would feel some type of way, right? So, but it's not because like, it's like I'm not like I'm shaming a guy for being a massage therapist to men. Because I like women, I want to have the most potent experience with something that I already like. That's what it is. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah. Can I ask you a question around that?
Let's go.
How do you know that the experience with the guy will be like that?
I don't. It's not even. Here's the deal. I potentially will think that the guy might even be better at it. right? He might even be better at it. But it's just the psychology of like, I might go to a massage therapist because I'm looking for a massage, but part of the experience for me, right, as a cisgendered heterosexual man is like, I got this pretty girl rubbing on me. I'm just going to keep it 100, right? Even though she might do a good job, but that's psychologically part of the experience. So I'm imagining as a cuddle professional, a professional cuddler, I'm imagining that there's some of that in there. You know what I mean? Because imagine an Orthodox Jew person was hiring a man.
Mm-hmm.
That might be beyond what he might be capable of doing, even though the man might be able to accomplish the same thing physically, but psychologically it might mess with him a little bit because that is a boundary in itself.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. And I think it's also sad too, because I do see so many of my male clients, they don't have close relationships with guy friends. They don't feel connected to them. And
how do you know
as
that?
much as
How do you know that?
They tell me that we talk about this in sessions. It comes up.
Okay.
And so I'm noticing this, and I'm noticing the patterns of like leaning on women for both anything that seems like very close or emotional. They tend to lean more towards women in general. Not everybody, but a lot of them do. And I would love to see a world where straight men have no shame being super openly like emotionally vulnerable with each other, and also like being willing to be physically close to each other and it not being a weird thing. When men can do that, I'll be out of a job. I won't have any reason to keep working. Like they solved the problem for me.
Yeah, and I've always said to people that like I'm a very affectionate person. I'm like I hug men in like social settings, right? I like kiss my brothers on the forehead oftentimes, and they're like grown men, right? Mm-hmm. They sometimes get weirded out. They're like, all right, man, relax, right? But like I'm open to that because that's just how I am. But I know the space of men and the taboo-ness of it, as well as like the incongruency that comes with being super affectionate and being super masculine, right?
Yeah, it's super funny too, because there are like men's cuddle groups that are just for men. There's one out in Philly, there's one out in Chicago. It's men cuddling men. Like, and there are a lot of gay men there. But
shocking. And like, of course, there's a lot of gay men there.
Yes, and the gay men at these events seem to be the ones that respect the boundaries of platonicness best.
What does that mean?
They understand that this is not a sexual experience. They're coming and they have a certain boundary by coming to the space.
Okay, what about that? So you're saying the guys that are so the guys that are going to these male cuddle seminars or sessions or group parties or however you want to look at it, there are heterosexual men that go there?
Yeah, there's heterosexual men that lead these things.
Understood, but you're saying the heterosexual men are the ones that often cross the boundaries?
They're the ones that don't know what the heck the boundaries are. Some of them are too scared to even do anything because they don't know. They just know that they want to be there. The ones that might not be straight. Again, I haven't been to these, so I can't verify for sure. But from the conversations I've had, like the culture around like the LGBTQ community, the queer community, they have these conversations a lot because they do have the spotlight on them a lot, and they do get vilified more when things go wrong. So a lot of the people that have been socialized in the queer community have these conversations more than probably, I imagine, cis straight men do.